Hey everybody, this is Fran Fraschella, draft expert and basketball junkie. To everybody who's watching, let's get our friends at General Manager Games the subscribers they deserve. Just press that red subscriber button and immerse yourself in sports AI through GM Games content. And on Twitter, it's GM_games. Let's get after it. Let's go.
Hello everyone, welcome back to GM Games. It's CoachFury here, and we're back today to carry on with our Charlotte Hornets Let's Play series, seeing whether we can develop LaMelo Ball into a superstar, an all-star, who knows what, but basically going to see whether we can help his career along, hopefully maybe win him a championship or get him to playoffs and develop him through. So at the end of last episode, I think we got to the point where we'd finished the season. It didn't go too well really, in terms of the win and loss record. We definitely finished with a bad win loss record. We only won 21 games. We lost 61. We did complete a huge flurry of trades though, which has got me very excited about the future of this Charlotte Hornets team really. Before we talk about LaMelo Ball, it's probably worth us doing a bit of a recap of some of the other players that we've got. So, I mean, obvious ones are really that Miles Bridges is still developing into an okay player, pretty terrible shooter at this point. He is definitely a tradable piece in this offseason. The same with Gordon Hayward. Whilst he put up some really good numbers, he actually looks like a phenomenal shooter actually. His salary is pretty high, so we might look to maybe move him on. But we have got the Martin brothers, randomly, at the moment, who not really playing too much for us. But we do have the Bridges brothers as well, as we've said. So I think Miles Bridges is looking like a tradable piece. I think Mikal Bridges is looking like a pretty good prospect. His shooting numbers are pretty good. He looks like he's an okay defender, and he looks like he's a good piece to have around. And then it's probably where we get to the front court of this team is going to be quite interesting to see how this plays out, because we've got quite a lot of good young players here, combined with some quite good experienced players. We've got PJ Washington, who still hasn't quite developed as much as I would want him to. But, he's turning into an okayish player. I mean, his shooting's pretty terrible. So whether we keep him or not, I don't know. But, I mean, Gallinari, who we managed to pick up in a trade, who I mistakenly didn't realise was going to be paid $20 million next year, is looking like a pretty good sort of stretch for us. And then Onyenka is another guy we picked up who looks like a pretty good post player. Porter Jr., who I'm really excited to actually just to get, looks like he is already a pretty good player in himself. So I'm excited about the future of this team, mainly around we've got some good experienced players, some good young players, and we'll see how that plays out. I mean, when we look at the main guy that we're really focusing on, LaMelo Ball, he's definitely developed through the season. He's now a 3-star player. Still has the potential to be a 4-star player. I mean, his shooting numbers are still not great, only 40%. We really need to try and stop him from basically shooting in sort of post-up positions, it looks like here. So he's drive and pass, drive and shoot, and catch and shoot. He's not the greatest shooter. We probably want to try and develop him more in his passing game, though it's only a 64. So not too sure where we necessarily take him, but, I mean, the future is going to be interesting for the Charlotte Hornets team. We will have a good pick in the draft, so we will look at the draft lottery certainly today and see how that plays out for us. But before we get to that stage, obviously we do have the playoffs to sort of look at and follow through really in this series. Obviously we're not going to be there, so we're not necessarily going to go into too much detail about it and watch too many games. We probably might watch a finals game or something. But in terms of how that looks, and the rest of the league, let's take a quick look at the standings actually. So in terms of the top, we've got the Boston Celtics in the Eastern Conference, and the Nets, the Pacers, and then sort of a mixed bag of teams really. And the Bulls getting in there on 39-43 record, which is crazy. And then the Western Conference, you've probably got the perennial sort of favourites really in terms of the Warriors, the Clippers, the Lakers looking pretty good. The Suns also looking good. That's a very competitive conference certainly. And we'll see how that looks. So in terms of the playoffs itself, we've got the Warriors against the Jazz, Suns, Pelicans, Lakers, Grizzlies, Clippers, Nuggets, Celtics, Bulls, Bucks, Hawks, Pacers, Heat, and then the Nets, 76ers. There are some really interesting matchups here. Funny enough, for those of you following my channel on 76ers Let's Play, we also had the Brooklyn Nets in the first round and got swept. So I'm going to be keeping a little bit of an eye on that one, just to see whether that happens the same for the AI in that matchup. I mean, the Warriors Jazz is probably going to be an interesting one as well, and we'll see how that one works. And then the Bucks Hawks. So yeah, let's go through this. We'll probably just sim through round by round and just do a little bit of a recap when we get there. So we'll go through the first 4 games or so, I think, and then we'll look at how this is playing out. So in terms of the start, the Celtics already 3 up against the Bulls. That's not really surprising, considering the Bulls were a losing record team to get into the playoffs. Pacers are also up 3-0 in the Eastern Conference. The 76ers managed to snag one off against the Brooklyn Nets, which is interesting. I wasn't able to do that in my Let's Play, so congratulations to the AI. You've got one up on me there. The Warriors are pretty much the Western Conference. All of the top seeds are 2-0 up, so they've held that. Let's see how we go in terms of the next 4 games. Let's just go through maybe a 5th game as well, just have a little look. So the Warriors are 3-1 up. The Suns are through against the Pelicans. The Lakers and the Clippers are almost through. The Celtics are through. The Bucks are 3-2 up against the Hawks. The Pacers are through, and the Nets are making a bit of a hash of it now, 3-2 against the 76ers. So let's see how the next game goes. So all the Western Conference is all decided. All the top seeds have got through. There's no real change there. We still got the Bucks, Hawks, and the 76ers Nets game to go. Let's see if any of them can go to a Game 7. No, they cannot. So the Nets are through against the Pacers. The Bucks who play the Celtics. That's going to be an interesting game. Warriors against the Suns. Lakers against the Clippers. Oh, there's some really good matchups in this second round, actually. Let's get ourselves through to... let's get ourselves through to the bit of the second round now. So let's go through the usual sort of 3 games, I reckon, and then we'll have a little bit of a look. That Lakers-Clippers matchup is going to be really fun to watch. Right, let's have a look. So, let's go back. So the Lakers are 2-1 up against the Clippers. The Suns are beating the Warriors. That Suns team, I don't know what it is in draft day sports, but that Suns team just always do exceptionally well in the playoffs. Celtics are pretty much cruising against the Bucks at this stage, 3-0, and the Nets are trailing the Pacers. The Pacers and the Suns always seem to do well in draft day sports in this patch. I don't know why, really. Oh, big one there though. Chris Paul got injured. That could put a dampener on the Suns. So let's have a look. So the Lakers pretty much went comfortably through against the Clippers. Celtics are through. The Nets have pulled it back to be 3-2 up against the Pacers, and the Warriors have pulled it back to be 3-2 up against the Suns. Okay, any of these going to go to a Game 7? The Nets game did not. They've gone through 4-2. But the Warriors-Suns is a Game 7. And the Suns have scraped through. Oh, the Warriors are out. This one-seeded Warriors are out of the playoffs. So we've got the Suns, the unexpected 4th-seed Suns against the Lakers, and then the Celtics against the Nets. I mean, that's a great matchup, isn't it? Even without James Harden, that is a great matchup. So let's see how this goes. Get through sort of 3 games, I think, again, and just see. So the Suns are leading 2-1 against the Lakers, and the Nets are leading against the Celtics. Wow. Okay, let's go to Game 4 and Game 5. Oof. Don't know if you guys saw that. Suns are 3-2 up, and the Celtics have pulled that back to be 3-2. Are they going to go to a Game 7, or are the Suns going to get through and the Celtics going to get through in Game 6? So I think that's gone to a Game 7 there, I believe. So the Celtics through, they're into the finals. The Lakers-Suns, though, is a Game 7 matchup. Blimey. That's crazy. Will the Suns get through to the finals? Oh, and they haven't. They've been pipped by the Lakers. So we do have a showdown of the Giants. The LA Lakers against the Boston Celtics in the finals here. So Celtics take game 1. Let's go into the box score and have a little look at that one. So Tatum with 28 points in that one to get through. James shooting a 6 of 19. That's not going to help their performance. So Celtics take game 1. And they don't take game 2. The Lakers have taken game 2. Let's have a look at the score. In a similar sort of scoring, actually. Harrell with 33 points. Wow. That perfect shooting numbers. Look at that. 13 of 13. Okay, let's go to game 3. And the Celtics come right back at them and take the game 3. Behind a 32-point game from Jason Tatum. 13 of 26. Derrick Rose is getting a start for them now. Look at that. 22 points is buff as well, actually. Not bad. So, game 4. Can the Lakers pip them back? They can. This is going back and forth, this series. Really is. What a matchup. This could go to a game 7. Davis with 31 points there. My goodness me. What a matchup. And the Lakers have taken the game 5, I believe. Yep. LeBron James with a 22 points, 12 assists game. Yeah, okay. LeBron's just decided to turn up in game 5. Right, let's go to game 6. Can the Lakers take it, or will it go to game 7? No, the Lakers have taken it. Let's take a look at that result. Oh, we've got a error message pop up. I want to go back. There we go. Anthony Davis, 35, 5 and 15. Blimey. Well, the Lakers have taken the championship series. Not really surprising when you've got someone like Anthony Davis and LeBron James in your team. Yeah, not surprising really. Looks like Jason Tatum was injured as well, actually. So that probably didn't help the Celtics case. Interesting that Kemba Walker basically ended up being benched for Derrick Rose. Yeah, looks like they had some injury problems as well, which didn't help. So let's go to the lottery. That's the main thing that we care about as the Charlotte Hornets. We want a good draft pick here. We'll let the images play. Okay, so we are obviously doing the modern lottery. So top 4 picks are determined by lottery drawing. Worst 3 teams have same chance of winning. Yeah, okay, so we know that. We are in the modern lottery era, which means that we have the same chance as the Pistons and the Wolves of having the top pick at 14%. Let's see how we get on. We will let it auto run. Come on. We want a top pick. So the Mavericks have stayed in position, and the Rockets. No changes yet. The Trailblazers have no change. Should be the Raptors next. Yeah. Will the Kings jump? No. Will the Magic jump? No. Which was from Brooklyn, actually. That was a trade from Brooklyn. I was going to Brooklyn. Oh, okay, so the Spurs have jumped. Oh no, Indiana have taken the Spurs pick. Wizards. Then there's been no jump so far. Will the Knicks get in? No. So will the Thunder get in? We'll hopefully be in a top 3 pick. We will be a top 3 pick. Where will we end up? Top 2 pick? Come on. Yeah! Oh my god, that's amazing. We've got the number 1 pick for this next draft coming up. We have snagged it. We have jumped in and got the number 1 pick. That is really going to help us in terms of our development. That is fantastic. So let's have a little look at what the draft actually looks like. Who is the number 1 pick prospect? So a guy named Jermaine Miles from Michigan State who put up 30 points in his college junior year. 30 and 15 is averaging. Blimey. Okay. Looks interesting. We've also got these DBL players as well who've not really done a lot, but we can probably dive in and have a look at them, I think. I'm not sure what team they're actually on. Let's have a little look. We can probably have a look at them, but it's Eddie Thompson. So if we go to leaders and if we go to the DBL league, wonder if you can just search them actually. No, okay, it's not searchable. Oh, it's because we're looking in. Come on, Chris, better than this. There he is, Eddie Thompson. So that's the DBL player. Not okay, not particularly that great. Okay, that's interesting. Right, we'll take a little look at the draft, I think, in a minute, because we will get to the draft. Possibly not today, but we'll probably do the scouting today. But let's dive into the awards for the season, and let's see how they look. So in terms of the NBA, in terms of the individual awards, Trae Young has taken up MVP, Davis Defensive Player, Van Vliet Sixth Man, Wiseman Rookie of the Year. Okay, so LaMelo Ball did not win Rookie of the Year. We'll obviously have a look in terms of the rookie, first five and see how they look. And Brad Stevens has taken the Coach of the Year. So all league first team. Harden's in there. Surprisingly, James is not, but I guess Leonard has taken that number. Second team, he's not in the second team as well. Okay, LeBron James has been sidelined here. DeMar DeRozan's snagged in there. Doncic, yeah, not really surprising, those guys. He has made the third team though. And Devin Booker's in there as well. Vucevic taken third team as well. Look at that. So in terms of the defensive numbers, not many surprises there. All there in terms of second team. So, all rookie first team. Has LaMelo Ball made the first team? No, he has not. He's been snagged by Trace Halliburton. Okay. He's probably got slightly better numbers than LaMelo, actually. Has he made the second team? He has. Okay, so LaMelo Ball has made the rookie second team. So, that's good. Glad to see that he's on there. I mean, his numbers are better across the board. Oh, no, not Drew Holiday. Halliburton. I mean, Halliburton's just a traditional point guard, whereas I think LaMelo does a bit of everything. But that's great. Great to see that at least he's made some of the awards. Okay, let's end the season. This may take a little while. We'll see how this goes. But we've got the #1 pick. That is fantastic news. That really is. We'll try and do a bit of the scouting now, I think, and have a look around. And then next time we'll dive straight into the draft. Okay, so we've got a call from the owner. I think all in all, not too bad. Yeah, okay. We agreed to the budget, but I didn't live up to it. Yeah, I will definitely stay. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Michael Jordan. Thank you for that. Right, let's move on. Cool. Yeah, okay. We are probably going to be a average team still, I would imagine. You won't have to pay luxury tax. Okay, so I've got to keep it near the cap, but that's fine. So in terms of our expectations, make the playoffs, and keep Gordon Hayward. Okay, that's going to be a tough ask. Right, coach hiring. I don't think we have any coaches that we need to hire. I'm not going to make any changes here. I don't think I've got any money to make any changes anyway. Not really. So we will just advance that, I think. Yeah, advance the entire period. Okay, so no real major signings there. Mark Jackson has gone to the Timberwolves. That was pretty much the only team that was active. The rookie combine, we will advance that. Workouts. Okay, here we go. This is what we care about. I think we've probably got time to maybe do this now. Let's take a look. So Jermaine Miles is the #1 prospect. He's a 4-star overall player. We're obviously going to have to scout him. There's no surprise there. We're going to scout Lance Harper. We're basically going to scout all the top guys that our staff recommend. Because #1 pick, we can't get this wrong. We're obviously going to work out these guys that we have no information on as well, because that's pretty important. All these international guys, because you never know how they might look. Actually, we won't. Okay, I can't undo that. I was going to say we wouldn't scout Eddie Thompson because we already know enough about him, but that's fine. Literally just going to scout anyone who looks. I don't want a 5'11" point guard, let's be honest. We don't need a point guard. We've got LaMelo Ball. Wish you could undo that. Unless you can go. Okay, like that. Does it reset? No, it does not. Okay, so we're pretty much stuck with where we were at. We are scouting the main guys though, actually. So we are scouting Miles, Bryant. We have no information on, which is interesting, but we do have information on. Oh, we did have information on Miles. Don't know what has happened there, why that's gone blank. I would like to scout Josh Wilson really, but I can't remove these numbers, which is a bit annoying. Okay, I can't reset it, unfortunately. So we're going to run the workouts now. I think we'll end the episode here, and next time we will come back to the draft and we'll do a bit of a recap, because I'll have a look at the workouts and see how it looks.